Whew. I don't even know how to start this video. I guess I could start off by saying, hi everyone, or hi guys. I feel like it's been so long since I filmed a YouTube video, a sit down talk video. I just wanted to give you guys an update. And for those of you, I'm so crazy. For those of you who don't know who I am and just stumbled across this page for the very first time, hi, my name is Jeliza, but you can call me Juju. I was on YouTube, been on YouTube, I'll say on and off for about 3 years. I started my channel during the pandemic. It was my sophomore year of college, and I was stuck at home, and I was like, what am I gonna do to pass my time? That's the birth of this channel. That was the birth of this channel, and from there I just remember, you guys remember the content that I used to create on this channel, and really just my journey of my entire sophomore year, adjusting to being at home again, adjusting to a pandemic. I don't think any of us really ever adjusted to, but at least trying to, and still trying to navigate the creative space. And when I created the page, I was 19. I'm 21 now. So if that doesn't say much, then yeah. I feel like I'm talking so much but so little, but y'all see my skin is dry, so I'm gonna talk and do my skincare. I'm using Paula's Choice Exfoliate, the 2%. Y'all already know it. You've seen it on TikTok. You know what this is. If my thing don't focus, there we go. Don't focus on me, focus on the product. There we go. Yeah, her. I'm 21 now. I'm gonna be 22 in like 3 months, depending on when you guys see this video. So a lot has changed, and I think I've grown, but there was a certain point where I didn't know what I was gonna do with this page, because honestly my life got so busy, and really everyone who does follow me know me for a financial aid video that I did. That was my very first video I recorded on YouTube, and it makes me feel good and still feel good that a video that I made, and it was the first ever video I had ever done, put out, produced, created myself. Never touched the camera before, and for that video to be at, I think, like 3K views now, it really speaks to like how passionate I was about being myself, but also helping people. And I still want to replicate that, but I want you guys to get to know me, and I want to go on my journey with you. And so that's kind of like some of the things that I would change coming onto this channel. With that being said, we gotta talk. There's some things that we got to talk about. So the next thing I'm gonna go in with, before we start our conversation, is the Topicals Brightening and Clearing Serum. You guys have seen this all over TikTok, but I know these products because I worked at Sephora, that's how we'll start this. Coming into my sophomore year, I started working at Sephora part-time while taking 18 credits in college. And if you know anything about college, you know that you're taking 6 classes, meaning you're handling work from so many professors. Your finals is like, you dread it because you're studying for 6 different finals. And on top of that, I was working on the weekends, so the times that people probably would have been studying, I wasn't. I was at work trying to pay rent, because that year my school was not offering juniors or seniors, specifically seniors, any housing. And so I had to basically rent a room, and I stayed by campus, literally right next to it. And there's a lot to that. And that living there, I had my most fun times, but I also had some really crazy things happen to me living in that house. And now that when I think about it, I'm gonna have to make a story time. And it's gonna be several story times. So yeah, so from the last time that you guys saw me, I was preparing to go back to school as a junior, as an RA. And the reason that I became an RA was because I really was excited when I made that video that you guys all saw. But, and if you didn't see it down, I'll leave it up below, above, shoot. But in that video, I was so excited to be an RA, and I really was. But then I realized when we had training, and before school starts, all RAs and leadership, so OGs, all of them, we are a part of this leadership training that happens, I think, for about a week or 2 weeks before school starts. So, you know, as RAs, we were preparing the dorms, looking to what needed to be fixed, and there was a lot that needed to be fixed, child. I'm talking broken dressers, I'm talking molds in the vents, and I was like, there's no way you guys are getting this done in 2 weeks, and the freshmen are supposed to be moving in. I went to school at Clark Atlanta University, the only university in the AUC, period. And while I was there, I was an RA in Murner Hall. So for all my Murner queens, hey boo. But I'm definitely a sweets baddie at heart. So while I was staying there and being an RA, I enjoyed my job, but at the same time, I was taking 15 credit classes, trying to get involved in campus, and at the same time, dealing with the adjustment period of coming back to college. It was really weird because we had to take weekly COVID tests, and you had to go to them wearing masks on campus. You could not walk into a building without wearing a mask. Most of my classes were online, and the ones that were in person, it was like there wasn't really a lot of people there. People were just like really shy, and it was like starting your freshman year over, but like you're an upperclassman, so you're not really starting over. And I think it just really started to settle in me that this was gonna be one of the most hardest semesters ever. And it was, like, to make a long story short, my best friend of 2 years, someone who I still love and respect, but we haven't spoken because me and my best friend are no longer of 2 years. We had a friend breakup. I had my first friend breakup, like a real friend breakup. And if you know anything about best friend breakups, it's worse than a relationship breakup. I had mold in my room, so I got transferred to a live-in village. I was only supposed to be in village for 2 weeks. Turned in that I was in village for almost 3 months before I even went back to my room in Murner. That was frustrating for a couple reasons. But even then, I really enjoyed my time there because it was the first time that I got to experience living by myself. I mean, I had a roommate, but after she left, it was just me. And I really had to sit with myself in that time. And I had a lot of time to think. And I just loved the experience of living by myself for the first time, not having to worry about anything. But a lot of bullcrap I felt followed me that year. I was coming out of a depression from the pandemic. So for me, junior year was really about getting to know myself again and figuring out what exactly that shit meant, because I didn't know. Then going into my senior year, and I had an amazing internship. I got to live in LA for 3 months, and it taught me so much about myself and the need for me to disconnect when I need to, and putting myself first. And yes, I went through like the worst time that year, because that was also the year that I came out to my mom and told her that I was seeing a woman, and that didn't go well, and we all know that. I don't have to get into that. Okay, so I'm gonna use next thing, whatever, is my serum from Innisfree. It is the green tea hyaluronic acid serum. This shit is crack. And if you put it in your cooler or your refrigerator, I don't even know why I said cooler, in your refrigerator, it like feels so good on your skin. So yeah, I came out to my mom, and basically came out to my sister and my friends, and it wasn't really taken really well, and that was for a lot of reasons. But my mom was the one, her reaction was the one that mattered the most to me, and it didn't go well. And that led to me, when I got my internship in LA, I didn't really get to celebrate it the way I wanted to, because I needed my space. And at the same time, my mom was getting married, and we had just had a fallout 2 weeks before that. Well, we had a fallout a month before her wedding, and that made it even harder for me, because I still wanted to show up for her, but I was just getting really tired of not being shown up for. But nonetheless, I showed up. But that was the most depressing time that I say that I've had in a very long time, in which I just felt like I was constantly betraying myself over and over and over again, in a way that I knew I would never do to anyone else. But I realized that a lot of people in my life were comfortable, or I enabled behavior that made them comfortable in thinking that I could just take certain things. And I know that I look like I'm doing that, but I promise I'm not. I'm one of those people. I'm a Libra, if that helps the situation. We're like the worst people pleasers. And even not just a Libra, if you don't believe in that. I'm an anxious attachment style. So for me, like, I was just find myself feeling very lonely in that time period. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the Supergoop Glow Screen in SPF 40 in the shade Sunset. This is bomb. If you do not have it, you need to get it, because it's amazing. But yeah, I'm sorry about the noise in the back, you guys. I can't control it. I live in New York City. That's another update. And I was going through it in my relationship. I was going through it with my personal friendships, redefining them, all of that. And rightfully so, because we were all coming from being in our house and only knowing how to show up for each other as friends in one way, that we had to learn an entirely different way of how to show up for each other now that we were in person. But even then, I go into my senior year, loving it. I mean, this is and was the most amazing time that I had. I was going to the Greek parties, even junior year I was, but I was going to the Greek parties. I learned a new way, and my friends got into this, like, almost felt like soft black girl kind of vibe, where we're going out to bars and dressing up and going to nice restaurants and getting our nails done and getting waxes together and brunch. And I was like, I felt like I was coming into a part of me that I've always wanted to be. And it's one thing to do it by yourself, but it's another when you and your friends are experiencing at the same time and doing it together. I'm not gonna lie, so much goodness happened my senior year. I got to fly to New York. What else? I also secured my internship at Forbes 6 months before the internship, right after I had just got denied from Bloomberg. And even then, I also did my CNN internship in the fall, literally the day after my birthday. And so I had an amazing start to my senior year, and I absolutely don't take it back, and I love it. It was also the year that I graduated, and I graduated in May, and it feels so good to be done. It feels so good to be like, ugh. But at the same time, there's some bittersweet things about that, and we'll talk about that. But life has been lifing in the best way. Now, are there kinks and kirks to that? Yes, but we will be steadfast. I'm learning the importance of being grateful. This is the Pharmacy Halo Glow. I want to make sure I include that. I like this one, but I feel like there's better ones out there. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, that was definitely a lot of lotion. I did not need all that lotion. So that was a really semi-quick recap into what this last year has been. But I also want to bring this up to let you know that I want to make more content, and I'm going to make more content because I miss doing it, and I miss you guys, and for all the new people, I'm happy that you're here, because I believe that everything happens for a reason, and you're coming onto this page for a reason, and that's a beautiful thing to have, and that's a beautiful thing to want to create. You know, I just figured, let me just turn on my camera because I did miss you guys. But make sure you follow me on all socials. Instagram is official Jeliza Alvarez, and then of course TikTok is Call Me Juju. So yeah, guys, and I will see you guys later. And if you haven't already, subscribe, like this video, and yeah, see you guys later. Bye.